Hi, this is Mato. In this video I will show you an amazing chess game. This is the game between Judith Polgar and Vishy Anand that was played in Dos Hermanas in 1999. Where is Dos Hermanas? It is a Spanish city. The city's name means two sisters. In this game Judith Polgar had white pieces and she started with e4. Anand played c5 and we have Sicilian defense. Knight to f3, d6, d4, pawn takes pawn, knight takes on d4, knight to f6 attacking pawn, knight to c3 defending, a6. This looks like Najdorf, but it will transpose to Sicilian Scheveningen, Keres attack. Bishop to e3, e6, and now g4, very sharp move. e5, attacking knight, knight to f5, and Anand played g6. Where is the knight going? Maybe knight goes to h6, maybe knight to g3. What would you play? Judith has no reverse gear, so she played g5, attacking knight on f6. Anand captured, and it is white to move. What would you play? Well, first move that comes to mind is that you captured that knight on f6, but no. Judith captured pawn on f5 instead. And it is now black to move. You would think knight to g8 would be played. Anand played d5 and it makes sense. He's threatening d4. And which piece would you save? Bishop or knight? Or what would you play? Well, very interesting move from Judith. Queen to f3. d4, threatening to win one of these pieces. Judith castled. Pawn is pinned now. If pawn takes bishop, then rook takes queen. But problem is solved by knight from b to d7, and Judith is going to lose either knight or bishop. Bishop to d2, pawn takes knight, and bishop takes pawn. Judith lost two pieces, two knights by now. But now interesting move from Anand. He is still refusing to move his knight away. Maybe knight to g8. But Anand played bishop to g7, and it is white to move. Have a guess. What did Judith play? If I was white, I think I would capture that knight. Or maybe you can even capture that pawn on e5. Knight is pinned. But Judith played rook to g1. Oh boy, it's hard to understand this game, isn't it? Okay, now Anand didn't want to save his knight. He castled. And how should white continue? Well, by now you would think that she wouldn't capture that knight, but she surprised us all. She did capture knight. Okay, and that looks like a logical move. Queen takes on f6, queen to e3. And what is the purpose of this move? Well, if, for example, b5 is played, then rook takes knight, and after bishop takes on e5, and white is winning, because if queen takes, then queen takes queen, bishop is pinned. That's why Anand played king to h8, unpinning, and now f4, pawn is pinned. If pawn takes pawn, then bishop takes on f6, pawn takes queen, bishop takes on g7 check, and this is checkmate. Okay, so Anand played queen to b6. He would like to exchange queens, but Judith is not interested in that. She is interested in giving checkmate on g7. Queen to h6, defending bishop, and now another beautiful move. Rook to d6, deflection. If queen takes, then there is checkmate. Well, Anand played f6, blocking, but his queen is now cut off from queen side. And it doesn't seem like a problem now, but it will be a problem later. Bishop to d2. Threat is pawn takes pawn, attacking queen. e4. Bishop to c4, taking away g8 from rook and king, and also bishop is coming to e6. b5. Bishop to e6. Rook to a7 because knight is under attack. Rook to c6. Rook would like to come to c7. a5. Is this some kind of a pawn storm? Maybe it is, but it is very slow. Bishop to e3, attacking rook. Rook to b7. Bishop to d5, threatening some kind of discovered attack on rook. Rook to b8 and rook to c7. And Anand's position is not very good. He is a piece up, but the problem is now he can't move this knight. For example, if, just to show you, it's not that Anand would move the knight, but if knight to b6, for example, then rook takes on g7 and queen can't take because there is checkmate. So there is a problem now. b4, and now, surprise, b3, playing a defensive move for a change. Rook to b5 was played, attacking bishop. Bishop to c6, attacking rook and knight. And this is a problem. Anand captured pawn on f5. It is white to move. How would you continue? Well, first thing that comes to mind is to take that knight, and after bishop takes, rook takes. That would be a simple way to continue. But Judith played differently. She captured bishop with rook. Rook takes rook. Bishop takes on d7, forking two rooks. Rook from c to c5. Bishop takes rook. Rook takes bishop. Rook to d1, and now you can see that f6 is cutting off queen from defending the king. King to g8, and no, this is not the move, sorry. The move is queen to g2, and in this position Anand resigned. Why did he resign? Well, he didn't find a good defense. We can try one variation just to show you what could be coming. You can say that Anand can play better defense, but I will just show you one variation, one possible logical variation that black could have played. Queen to g6, for example. Then queen would take pawn. Rook to h5, f5, queen takes pawn, queen to c4 check, king to f8, rook to d8 check, king to e7, queen to c7 check, king to e6 check, king to e5 check, and after blocking, queen takes. This is checkmate. Judith was asked which is her best game ever. She said if she had to choose one game, that this was her best game ever. And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.